I once had a friend. He once told me, TK, my friend, you always talk about God. Have you ever wondered if this God of yours is real? And I turned to him and I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, look, there's no proof that your God exists. Your God is just a make-believe thing, you know? He's just an old fairy tale legend that we're told when we are young. And I turned and I asked him, my friend, tell me, can you explain things like gravity? Can you explain things like dreams? How is a person able to visualize something and see it? He turned and he asked me. He said, my friend, surely you are mad. Gravity is something that is just there. Dreams, it's because of our subconscious mind. Scientists have already explained this. And I turned to him and asked him, oh really? Because one thing I know, scientists can only explain and manipulate, I said. Scientists cannot create or destroy anything. Whatever happens in this world is the will of God, nothing else. God said if you add one and another one, it will give you two. That's it. And I told him, my friend, if you mix soil with water, what you will get is mud. And when that mud dries, it becomes hard. That's the principle that God has set. Whatever you did, it was to manipulate. You had no hand or any role in making the soil hard or making the soil wet. All you were able to do, it was to manipulate. Only God allows the soil to be wet, and only God allows the soil to be dry. That's God's will. That is why even when you sin, you are not prevented to go ahead with it. But God desires us to not sin. I turned to him and I told him, my friend, you are right, scientists explained laws of gravity. They explained all these things, but can they create or can they destroy gravity? And my friend turned to me and said, where are you really going with this? And I told him, friend, look, if you cannot create or destroy, can you really call yourself a creator? If you cannot even explain things like dreams or visions, can you say now that all these things, they just happen by chance? And my friend turned to me and said, TK, my friend, I know you and your legendary God, you're all crazy. All these things, they're just bluffs, they're just legends, you know? They're just there, they're just said to like limit you from being happy, you know? They're just there to torment you. And I turned to him and told him, my friend, there is a God and there is a heaven. That is why we see things like dreams. That is why we are able to dream dreams that are real, dreams that come to pass. And my friend said, there you go again. You start always, you speak all these things that I do not understand. And I told him, my friend, there is a God and you better believe in him. And he told me, what God? Which God that I have never seen before? And what God can I even believe? All those things as I've told you, People just told us about this God of yours. Even you too, you heard about him from somewhere elsewhere, but you never believed. And I turned to him and asked him, my friend, stand up. He said, why? I said, just do it, my friend, stand up. And my friend stood, and I told him, look at your left side. He looked, and I said, what is the last thing that you see when you are looking? My friend told me, the last thing that I'm able to see is our old high school. And I asked him, that's it? You cannot see anything beyond that? And he was like, of course now, that's all that I can see for now. And I asked him, what if I were to tell you there is a town behind that high school? And he was like, where are you going with this? And I told him, do you believe that there's a town behind that high school? And he was like, yes, my friend, you don't make sense. There is a town because I have seen that town. Then I told him, draw near to God and God will draw near you. If you actually went and seen it, it means it exists. But if you didn't see it before, it doesn't mean that that town does not exist. You see? And my friend said, you are just crazy. If there is a town there is a town. No other reason, no other explanation. And I asked him, if you say so, my friend, if now you know that there's a town there because you've seen it before, what if I tell you that there is a river after that town? And my friend was like, I don't know because I've never seen it. And I asked him, do you believe now that there's a river beyond that town? And my friend was like, that is beyond me because I've never seen it. I was like, if it's hard for you to comprehend, then my friend, if you want to believe that there's a river, you will have to draw near that river in order for you to see that yes, indeed, there is a river. And when you are drawing near to that river, you will see signs and wonders which will make you believe that there's a river before you can even see the river. The same way you know that there's a town ahead of you by the structures and buildings that you see before you enter the town. And my friend told me, so your point here is that there is a God because there are things that you see before you can see the actual God that exists? He said, well, that's dumb. And I turned and I said, my friend, there's a law that happens in life, a law which is beyond us. Some of the things we ourselves cannot comprehend, but the knowledge that we have, even if it might be small, it gives us faith, it gives us hope. Just the mere knowledge that there is one greater than us, there is one better than us, there is one who rules over us, and there is one who created all. That is enough for me. And he told me, you old people, you are like them. You are like them, they who speak of wisdom. Wisdom is just foolishness. There's nothing you get from it. And I told him, even if having wisdom means, my friend, look, hear me out. Let me speak. Then I told him, My friend, even if having wisdom is foolishness, I'd much rather have wisdom than be like you, my friend. You speak of things that you do not know, and you love things that you did not create, and yet you still say there's no creator. Things were just there. Then tell me, my friend, surely you must be crazy if you think that things just happen by chance. Tell me, look around, what do you see? Then my friend told me, all he sees right now is just houses. Then I told him, my friend, yes, you're right, you're seeing houses. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. But tell me things that you are seeing right now that are not made by men. He said, oh, well, of course, there's a lot that I see. I see grasses, I see trees. There's a lot actually. I see goats, I see a lot. Therefore, I asked him, so you are trying to tell me that all these things that you see right now, they just came by chance? They came from nowhere by chance? Then he looked at me and said, oh, there you go again, my friend. You and your madness. How many times should I tell you that whatever you speak of is not there? It's just fairy tales, you know? Yes, I get you, my friend. You are just trying to confuse yourself. You know what's your problem? You think too much. You are an overthinker, my friend. Therefore, I turned and I told him, I'd much rather be an overthinker than being you, my friend. You live out of ignorance. You don't recognize the things that are happening before you. Let alone that even your dreams, they themselves warn you daily and they tell you. You even ignore your conscience. When your conscience talks to you, you ignore it. And I turned and I asked him again, my friend, how do you think God communicates to us? And he said, what are you really talking about here? I'm getting lost. Where are you going with this? Then I said, my friend, check the state of your heart. No one in this world does wrong without knowing. There's no way you do something without knowing. Your heart tells you before you do it that this is wrong. But you, on your own free will, you decide to ignore it. For you know the truth, but instead, you choose to live otherwise. So then, my friend, can you now look at me and tell me that there's no God? Looking at the facts that are really there, tell me now, who feeds the grass? Who allows the grass to grow? And who natures it? Who takes care of this grass that you see? Who takes care of these trees that you see? And who has placed all the cosmos in the world? Who governs the sun and who governs the moon? Who has placed the firmament of the earth? Who allows all the waters to flow all around the world? Tell me, my friend, or is this too much for you? Tell me now. Can you feed the deep ocean when it's hungry, my friend? Tell me now. Can you satisfy a lion when it's hungry? Tell me. Do you guide a bear when it's about to hibernate? Tell me now. Look at the wild animals. Who feeds them? Who controls over all these things that you see? Rulers come and rulers go. The question is, who allows you to rule? Do you think that there's no God? Do you think there's no one who governs all these things? Do you think all these things they just happen by chance? If so, then my friend, tell me. Now if all these things happen by chance, it means anyone can just come out of nowhere and rule. Then tell me, my friend, who can do all these things? Can you explain dreams, my friend? You cannot even see beyond your own eyes. You cannot tell about what your eyes cannot see. Then tell me, my friend, what happens at the other end of the world? Do you govern this world? Do you know all the great wars and the small wars? Can you control over all these wars that we see worldwide? Can you control or can you tell who wins and who loses over all these wars? And I said, come now, my friend. Let us reason together. This is too much. This is tough for us to comprehend. My friend, there are a lot of things that happen in this world, as I've said. And a lot of them, they are beyond our imagination. You know? Just because we cannot see the God that we believe in doesn't mean that He is not there. He is there, and through those signs and wonders, we have faith that He is there. Even if what you say is a fact, you are saying that there's no God. For me, my friend, I'd much rather prefer to die knowing that there's a God that governs me. Because even my conscience itself, it tells me that there's a God. And everyone, as long as you're a human being, your conscience tells you that there's a God. But we decide to ignore that fact. And even our hearts are able to tell us whether we are wrong or right. It goes far to show that the law of God is written in our hearts. The moment you are born into this world, there is no way you will not learn. You will have to learn in order to know what to do. Yes, it's true. And the moment that you are born into this world, you have a purpose. You are chosen. God calls you to His purpose. And there's an opposer of God. Of course, there cannot be good if there's no bad. How can one say something is good if there's no bad? You cannot judge the right if there's no wrong. There has to be both of them before you can say one is right or one is wrong. My friend, I tell you the truth. There's no hot if there's no cold. How can you say something is hot or cold if there's no hot or if there's no cold? If I were to say the ice cream is cold, that is because I know that there's something which is hot. I know that something which is hot exists. So all I'm saying here is that, my friend, even in the laws of God, there's still an opposer. There's still one who's still against the work of God, one who does not wish to see God's dream coming to pass. Obviously, if there's a God who governs all, who rules over all, there will be beings which will desire to be in his place, but for their own selfish ambition. And there will be those who will rebel against their own creator for their own selfish ambitions. My friend, there's a lot that we are to learn. There's a lot that we still have to learn. Stay with me now, my friend. I know for now you do not believe, but let us walk this journey and tell me that you will not know that there is a God. My friend, bear with me. Generation come and generations go, but yet so God is the same for all. Those yet unborn and those who lived long ago, and us who are in the present. God is still the same for all of us. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Nothing can ever change that.